Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live. It is October the 7th, 2025. It is the anniversary of when Hamas mysteriously breached the gates there of the Gaza border and were able to have a rampage for nearly 8 hours, completely unchallenged by military presence there. The largest stand down order in world history, without a doubt, that has led to now a genocide. Not only the fatalities of over 1,000 Israelis, I consider them innocent Israelis, of the biggest cover up in the world, second only to that of the Twin Towers. But now a cover up in the Middle East there as the people have been led to the slaughter, so to speak, and now the genocide of Gaza. We're going to be on John Moore's show tonight. I'm going to come back here to Candace Owens in a minute here. Charles Hodge, a good friend of mine, has published this or sent this to me there. The amazing information that Candace has been holding, that Charlie Kirk truly was having problems with Israel and their donors there. Going to be going back to my good friend with Project Constitution, Colin there, and he sent me this one from Redacted, and I want to share some information there because Project Constitution has probably done more work to justify what really happened to Charlie Kirk than any other person that I know of. But Redacted does have on a guest that is kind of following the same information that Colin has already put out on his channel there. So, but as it is right now, and we're also going to talk a little bit about Cori Bush. She may be a guest here on Israeli News Live. I did not realize just this woman's courage going against AIPAC. They threw her out of office basically by, a $7 million campaign to get her out. But tonight, though, this is what I want to talk to you as well. 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 Central. We're going to be there with John B. Wells on his program, Caravan to Midnight. I've known John for many, many years. I consider him a friend. He's very outspoken. He is willing to have some of the most controversial guests on that you could ever imagine. If you look him up on YouTube, whether YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, Caravan to Midnight or John B. Wells. And again, we'll be on there tonight. As far as I know, the subject we're going to go into Charlie Kirk, his assassination. We may even touch on the things that have happened in our family that caused the life of my father-in-law. We're going to be talking about Hamas, the Middle East there, what's happening there, and Israel's stranglehold on this country there. You can watch it live on his YouTube channel. It's also on radio as well. And I'll put in the links, as many links as I can for you here on this description tonight as well. So we're kind of looking forward to being on with John tonight. So let's back up here real quick there. This was the image that Charles first sent to me, where Candace brings out some of these text messages that she has, and you can see it. Just lost another huge, as Charlie said, huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year, because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. God bless Charlie Kirk. Charlie was early waking up. You have to understand, we went through that process. We were very pro-Israel years and years ago, just like Charlie. I mean, we had Unconditionally You Stand With Israel Facebook page. We promoted it, interviewed some very high-profile figures in Israel, including that of Avi Lipkin. We interviewed Avi on multiple occasions. Avi actually came to our home when we lived in Jerusalem. We were in the Knesset on a couple of occasions there. We were also interviewed Yehuda Glick, the former MK member, also former Israeli president, or run for president there. I knew he was going to lose before he ever even tried it, and I sent him that message before the election was final because I already knew that he was not chosen to be that person. But and then you had my good friend that had passed away, who was he had the Temple Mount Institute, and was a great hero of Israel many years ago. and I am blank on names today. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, so I want to share that with you, but let me first go back real quick because I don't want to linger there, and I'll share with you here what Charles posted for me here, where Candace speaks about this. And I applaud Candace for being brave enough to tackle this issue.
Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, 2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, ugh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text.
So when people don't believe that Candace is telling the truth, well, that's right in your face. We know. We know what Charlie went through. And I realize we're much smaller fish than what Charlie was. Charlie truly had built a massive organization. He was very pro-Israel. He was affecting the young voters of America. And, you don't build something like that and be pro-Israel and then all of a sudden begin to start to wake up. It wasn't that Charlie turned, he was waking up. He was starting to realize something was wrong. He was not accepting the genocide of Gaza. Now, I don't know if he ever spoke about that issue there, but he's starting to platform people that did. Tucker Carlson wanting to invite Candace Owens. The man, they silenced him because of what he was doing. They tried to silence us. They sent Carrie Madej here to inject us with 21 mils of peroxide after we refused to heed the warning. They sent two Jewish Mossad agents to a meeting that we did at a church in Lebanon, Tennessee, back, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when Yana was talking very heavily against the Noahide laws publicly. And they came in there and told us, you and your wife are way off course, and we want to help you get back on course. Man saying this to me in the Hebrew language, by the way, and as well the English language, but I understood him perfectly fine. So we get what happens there. My father-in-law paid the price, and it's been one of the largest cover-ups in history. Even though we won the civil case in the state of Tennessee, it is one of the most major cover-up deaths thus far. DAs and everything involved. Why? Because of things like this. They're covering up Charlie Kirk's death as well. When yet we have evidence that has clearly proven to the contrary. Colin with Project Constitution, he shared with me this video with Redacted where they have this guest on, and the guest on here is showing these 3 bullets, different still frame images there where they catch it just before he hits Charlie in the back of the head. And I think it's on this back part of the side of his head here where I could see the blood splatter that I pointed out. But look, all you got to do is go through Project Constitution and our text together. We went through these things very deeply, and I don't know. I'm going to pause here a second. We have gone tirelessly through this, he and I, on the phone as well, talking about it, etc. I've even missed some of these things that he has sent to me here. But my point being here is we had talked about this. I had found the infrared laser that reflects off of Frank's phone. And Colin had found the bullet right after I did that. I did the sound signature. I knew that the guy that from the other angle that had video had to be within 36 foot of where Charlie was shot. You can clearly hear the semi-automatic exchange go off. You can hear the echo chamber that's involved. Some of the things that I'd picked up myself. So we began to work together. He saw this bullet here. Then he finds this amazing shell casing falling down. And I was trying to find that here. Let me see if I can find this here, where he found the shell casing dropping down, and he did an amazing job on that. Yeah, gosh, some of these things I haven't even seen that my dear friend sent to me there. This is another one right here where I pointed this out to Colin, and then he did a video about it. And the guy circling there, as I said, it's almost a stage. And notice they turn around immediately from where that shot was fired, but they were also basically given cover. There was a girl that me and Colin the night before were discussing. He found the shell casing as it falls through the tent there and falls down. And I went back and I told him. I called him on the phone. We got on the phone together, or he called me. I forget which one. And I said, look at what's happening. It didn't ricochet. At first, he thought it ricocheted inside the tent, so it had to have been very close. I said, no. You can see as it drops in down on the inside, rolls across, and then falls down inside the tent. I said, the guy, whoever it was standing right against the back of the tent. You can see the barrel inside the tent, everything. And then he began to do more work on it. Every time this young man just does, and he's a former Marine sniper. I don't know how old he is. I say a young man because I'm an old guy, but he did amazingly good work on this. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to reveal too much of what he's pulling together as of right now. But like I said, here we go right here. The corner shot weapon. I didn't at the time. I knew about the corner shot, but I wasn't for sure. I wasn't thinking about it at the time. But we talked about this together. Even post the video that I did on this. I like to give this young man credit because he's done such an amazing job on it. But theory, that girl there actually brought it out. She caught that there herself. And maybe because of the actual, we had already pointed out that there was a barrel up in there, or not so much that. I was talking to Colin about that, and he had found the shell casing coming down. But the night before, undoubtedly, when she was doing her own video, she was bringing this information out, brought out, I think, the next day. But it would make more sense because that 9mm sits into that thing, and if you have it turned a certain way, it could easily eject right down inside the tent. There was one other weapon that I also called a briefcase. I forget what you call the thing there, that could have also been used that would allow also for that bullet to drop down. Yes, you could use an infrared laser there, whoever's peeping right through there. And quite frankly, you could detach the back stock off of that gun to where doesn't even look really like a gun because it's kind of odd shape. But the breakaway briefcase gun, no one would never even know you have one there, and just boom, drop a laser in there and Charlie catches the bullet, So, I mean, it's so horribly bad, but like I said, this young man has done an amazing job and really deserves the credit for what he has done. So anyway, let me go real quick here too to Cori Bush. I just saw this morning, and we had talked about interviewing her not long ago. But when I saw this, I reached back out to a particular contact. I won't say who it is that knows her personally, and said, "Look, we need to get you guys on." Listen.
Courage. AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
God bless her.
Congresswoman Bush, history will remember that you sacrificed your career for the biggest moral cause of our time.
Patriotism.
Our government sends our tax dollars to the Israeli military. If this body is looking for something productive to do with $3 million, instead of funding a military that kills Palestinians, I have some communities in St. Louis City and in St. Louis County where we desperately need investment, where we are hurting, where we need help. Let us prioritize funding there.
But her push to invest American tax dollars at home instead of sending them to Israel crossed the Israeli lobby's red line. So they tried to silence her.
I got a message from someone in the community. AIPAC said to tell you that they know you're not going to change your stance. You're not going to change your position. They got it. Mm-hmm. They just want you to be silent about it.
When she refused to stay silent about Israel draining America and dragging us from one disastrous war to another.
The first victory in Afghanistan makes the second victory in Iraq that much easier. The second victory in Iraq will make the third victory that much easier too.
We are anti-war, we are anti-occupation, and we are anti-apartheid, period.
AIPAC poured millions to silence her voice.
Pro-Israel groups spent heavily to try and oust Bush.
AIPAC has launched a $7 million ad blitz trying to oust Representative Cori Bush.
Cori Bush be defeated in an $8 million campaign because AIPAC...
I'll just leave it there. I'll post that link for you. The Coming Back Begins Breezy Politics is where I just happen to be on my feed. So God bless this woman for having the courage there. You know, you have to understand, this is not anti-Jewish. This is anti-AIPAC. This is anti-foreign entities controlling America. You wonder why America's broke? We're funding an Israeli war machine to totally genocide the Middle East for the greater Israeli project that was fulfilled biblically long ago. If you just take the time, for example, and you go to our channel on YouTube here, and the latest video that I just released in here, When Prophecy is Hijacked, Isaiah 60, and the modern, I think it's modern day deception, modern day deception. I take you step by step and show you biblically all the false narratives that are being perpetrated. I actually have a playlist called No Biblical Evidence for the Modern State of Israel. 11 videos now, taking biblical evidence and proving that it's wrong. You know, and by the way, I see Cynthia McKinney right here on my right side of the screen, politician interviews, 7 different politicians we've interviewed over the years here. Another courageous woman who took on AIPAC and had them change where they would no longer sign. In order for you to become a Congress or senator, you had to sign an allegiance to Israel. Why are we signing allegiances to foreign nations? Oh, they said, as long as Cori Bush stays silent. I will tell you one thing, Cori Bush is doing a heck of a lot more than the politicians that are Arabic that are in power, even Palestinians that are in power. That's what we need. We need people that'll stand for America. You want to support the Jewish people, I can understand that, but don't support a genocide of Palestinians. Don't support Israel going into the West Bank right now and entire communities rounding up every man in there and taking them out. Don't support Israel blocking the flotilla like the one that Greta Thunberg was on, and then they take and beat her and everything else and treat her as a terrorist, as Ben-Gvir said they would do. I was very concerned about her going this time. She made it back out. But you know, Greta, you may not make it again. You have no idea just how evil of a government you're dealing with right now. There's good Israeli people. There really are. The Israeli people were waking up before October the 7th, but they were crushed. Charlie Kirk brought that up in one of his interviews. He brought it up, how the people were not going to allow Netanyahu to do his judicial reforms. And then October 7th happens. Think about these things. Stephen Ben-Nun, tonight, John B. Wells Caravan to midnight, 10:30 Eastern. Check it out on YouTube, or you can watch it live on X. You can watch it on Facebook, also on the radio, and I'll put as many links as I can in there for you. And just keep our family in prayer. We have certainly faced a lot. Your support of this channel is very important because, believe me, like Charlie Kirk, many people walked away because we're willing to tell you the truth. So if you really want to stand for something that's true, even a small amount, every bit helps. And, you know, and it really is vital at this point here. IsraeliNewsLive.org is our website page here. Also, this video here, Charlie Kirk's death, is being used to promote the Noahide laws that Jan and I did. That is very, very important to catch it. It was a live broadcast. I loaded it through iConnect right here on our YouTube, on our website. But you can support us right here through IsraeliNewsLive.org and donate online. Thank you and God bless you.